Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to our honorable lecturer, Dr. Haji Samsul Anas bin Haji Kasim, and fellow friends. The leader that we choose for our group project is Bob Chapek and Brian Robbins, which is CEO of Walt Disney and CEO of Farm Picture, respectively. In this context, we choose two great leaders which leading animation industry who are well known to entire world. These two great leaders that we choose is Chief Executive Officer of Walt Disney Company, Robert Allen Chapek, or known as Robert Chapek, and Chief Executive of Paramount Picture, Brian Levine, also known as Brian Robbins. Next, I will move to introduce our first leader that we choose. Bob Chapek, or his full name is Robert Allen Chapek. He was born on 29 March 1959 in Chicago, Illinois, United States. Currently, he is 63 years old with a height of 1.1 meter. In addition, he had pursued his study in Bachelor of Science degree in microbiology and further his postgraduate study in Master of Business Administration, respectively from Indiana University Bloomington and Michigan State University. Bob Chapek has married Cynthia Ford in year 1980 and began with three children named Brian Allen, Kimberly Ann, and Kelly Marie. It is stated that Bob Chapek has earned $7.78 million as per 28 February 2022. Next, our second leader is Brian Robbins. Brian Robbins, or known as Brian Levine, he was born in New York on 22 November 1963. Currently, he is 59 years old. He has graduated from Grant High School in 1982. He is also known as American film executive, actor, and filmmaker. Lastly, he is stated that his current net worth is $150 million. Bob Chapek. Mr. Chapek has been appointed as CEO of Disney in 25 February 2020, which is 2 years ago. Before that, he was formerly served as Chairman Disney Park back in 2018. He also been as President of Distribution of Walt Disney Studios. Next, Brian Levine. Brian Levine has awarded as Director Guild of America for Outstanding Directive in 1998 and been again awarded as International Digital Emmy Pioneer Prize in 2015. He also produced more than 10 films, and Brian Levine also had won cover Ace through Film of Theatre, Sport Theatre with Shaquille O'Neal. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NAJIHAH binti Abdul Malik. Next, I will talk about the personality traits of each leader. Personality traits are characteristics and qualities that help in determining a person's character, whether unique, ordinary, or others. This is because personality traits are interrelated in reflecting a person's thought patterns, behavior, and feelings. So, the first one, I will briefly explain the personality traits of Bob Chapek, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Walt Disney. The first personality trait that we can identify in Bob Chapek is conscientiousness. It refers to a person's ability to constantly exercise self-control and be disciplined to achieve their goals. Same goes to Bob Chapek, where he is a very meticulous and organized leader. This can be evidenced by the ability of Bob Chapek to manage many projects at one time. In addition, the personality traits that belongs in Bob Chapek is openness. This nature of openness has characteristics such as imaginative and highly visionary. Bob Chapek has openness in some things that he really feels it will give positive impact into their current projects. In this part, I will briefly explain the personality traits possessed by the Chief Executive Officer of Paramount, Brian Robbins, which is openness. Brian Robbins can be categorized as a leader with a high nature of openness because he has the courage to try something new by creating interesting ideas in producing more creative works. For example, he has urged the executive at Nickelodeon to break the rules and the process that were used previously. All content related to children's animation has been improved with the addition of characters including the popular cartoon which is SpongeBob SquarePants. In addition, the second personality trait that we can see in Brian Robbins is extraversion. Extraversion refers to a measure of the extent to which an individual associates with the people around them. Here, we can see that Brian Robbins is a very easy person to get along with. Now, I move to the new slide which is the personality traits of leader that's suitable in movie production industry. The most relevant personality traits that a leader should highlight is conscientiousness. It refers to those who are fully focused on their task with a mindset that everything they do is to achieve a long-term goal. These personality traits can be seen in the CEO of Walt Disney, Bob Chapek, who is very concerned about the quality of every work done. Next, the most relevant personality trait that a leader in the movie production industry needs to highlight is openness. As we can see now, competition between the film production industry is a key aspect that needs to be emphasized by a leader. Critical and out-of-the-box thinking is essential to ensure that new works later get a different touch than the previous one.
Next, I will explain about leadership styles of each leader. But first, we need to know the meaning of leadership. Leadership can be defined as social influence process in which a person may enlist others' help and support for the fulfillment of a common and ethical task. Simply, leadership is who has an influential power connection in which the leader encourages followers to change or move. Bob Chapek, Chief Executive Officer of Walt Disney, have directive leadership style. It is all control in the hands of the leaders. Usually, he restricts worker and other organizational stakeholders to provide any opinion or review except for particular situation. He prefers to focus more on existing projects compared to creating several new projects all at once. If fresh ideas come with major risks, he will find it more difficult to pursue the project. His throughout consideration able to prevent other people in company from making unduly aggressive and hasty decisions. Brian Robbins, Chief Executive Officer of Paramount, have achievement-oriented leadership style. It is focuses on group objective. He will prioritize on attaining good results. It involves defining group objective and ensure group has necessary skill with resource to meet those objectives on time. He wants employees to be independent in decision making. However, collaboration among group members is crucial. He often came up with fresh ideas for his employees or group. He will set a certain goal and expect them to perform with their best. Last but not least, I will make comparison between two leadership styles. Bob Chapek, CEO of Walt Disney, have directive leadership style. He more likely to control all decisions that occurs and prefer not to take new idea or plan with big risk. He tends to stay with current plan even there is suggestion for a new plan. Meanwhile, Brian Robbins, CEO of Paramount, have achievement-oriented leadership style. He will set certain objectives for his employee and hoping that they can achieve with high level of performance because they want to compete with other companies like Walt Disney. So, we think that Bob Chapek, CEO of Walt Disney, have the best leadership style because his employee able to clearly see his pattern of work and there is clear communication in organization. Employees know the requirement and reward for completing the task given. There are usually consistent rules and regulations. For unskilled group, they will receive low complexity tasks because they need to get guidance they needed. Then the decision making will be faster because only the CEO will make all decisions.